get it in terms of Kevin Durant going there. It was a bit of an aberration in our system. We had a spike in our cap. It enabled them to have additional cap room. The Warriors will tell you they would have figured out a way to get it done anyway. I don't know. You got to give Golden State their due. And I've said repeatedly, let's also celebrate excellence. Steph Curry drafted, Klay Thompson drafted, Draymond Green drafted 35th by Golden State Warriors. And so I don't think as a league we want to go about breaking up teams just to break them up, just to force some sort of parity that is kind of unnatural.
That was the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver on Golic and Wingo yesterday when asked if Kevin Durant going to Golden State ruined parity in the league. Max, you got a problem with those comments?
No, I think he's on the money. I think Adam Silver played it perfectly. Of course, they want parity. That's what the league aims for competition. But you have to acknowledge that some teams are run by smarter people than others. And by the way, they also get lucky. When you're as good as the Warriors, things also broke your way. But as I always quote the late, great Branch Rickey, luck is the residue of design. Dr. Jerry Buss used to say you have to get a little lucky and you have to take some risks, but you hope that they're calculated risks in your favor. Stephen A., to break up the Warriors or to talk about how it's bad for the league is really to say the Warriors are too good an organization. Like the Celtics right now have how many, like 7 first-round picks coming up in the next couple of years? And they're already stacked. You know why? Danny Ainge is better than your GM. So what are you going to do? Punish the smart teams for taking advantage of the dumb teams? That's what they're supposed to do.
Well, I don't think that's where he's going here. I mean, I think what he's talking about are owners that are looking at the league, Max, and, they're saying to themselves, we have to have a process in place that facilitates situations where the stars get to compete against one another as opposed to join forces. But I think in the same breath, he was applauding the Golden State Warriors because primarily their success has come through the draft. Steph Curry was drafted. Klay Thompson was drafted. Draymond Green was drafted. And ultimately, those players were developed. Andre Iguodala was obviously acquired in the trade. So you look at that situation. Sean Livingston was picked up in free agency, but was once considered to be a guy whose career was done because as talented as he was, those nasty knee injuries or what have you, nobody thought he would ever be the caliber of player they perceived him to be, which he wasn't, but he still ends up being a damn good player and obviously a champion personified. You look at everything that Golden State has done outside of acquiring Kevin Durant, and obviously you have to be impressed with what they did. I have no problem with them getting Kevin Durant because I think as an organization, you showed yourself to be so attractive that somebody of his caliber will want to play for you. My issue with Kevin Durant at the time was the fact that you had just been with a team that advanced to Game 7 of a conference finals that was up 3-1 in that same series, loses the three ensuing games, ultimately the series, of course, and then end up joining a team that beat you, which happened to be a juggernaut 3 weeks to a month later. Well, that was my issue. I don't fault Golden State for that. So I'm looking at Adam Silver, and I don't really have any problem with what he said, certainly about the organization, certainly about how they've done things. But I think if you're going to point the finger at anybody for Kevin Durant pairing with Golden State, you look at Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant only. Golden State clearly did its job.
Sure, but the point is they do have rules in place to try to prevent super teams from forming this way. They have a salary cap. They have a max contract. They have draft order based on, higher odds of drafting high up if you're a bad team, if your record is bad. They have all kinds of things in place to stop this from happening. But when you set up rules, the clever among a group will try to manipulate them and take advantage of them or play the game as defined by the rules better than others. Danny Ainge plays the game better than Vlade Divac. I mean, let's just say what it is. Way better. It's a mismatch. The Knicks have not been able to play the game as any number of teams, but certainly as the Rockets. Daryl Morey is better than the various Knicks GMs. He's better. That's why his team is better. He plays the game better according to the rules. So how do you stop it? And by the way, I did not hear complaints when I was a kid that Magic, Kareem, and Worthy were on the same team, or that that Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman were on the same team. So part of it is what you identify, Stephen A. Not just what I'm saying, some play the game better than others, the smart take advantage of the dumb, but also that players have taken their destiny into their own hands. It's fine when Jerry West puts a super team together or Krause puts a super team together, but God forbid Kevin Durant or LeBron James do it. Same super team, but the players did it instead of a GM. They didn't know their place, and I think that bothers people.